Stable ticking along really nicely after a superb weekend last weekend, and the second leg of the jackpot sees number 5, Close Relative, the daughter of Kahal. It looks like Gavin Lorena's obviously got the winning formula, and it's just a case of whether she'll handle the very fast 5 furlongs that the winter at Turffontein brings.
Yeah, she's coming off a 6-week rest, so she'll be a bit fresh and full of beans. Hopefully, the coming back in trip will suit her a bit. She's moving well, in good form. She's quick, this filly, but 1200 is probably her best trip, but still in with a chance.
First class, on to race number 7, where you've got Master in command. The form is absolutely sparkling, and you don't get much better help than Striker in the irons.
Yeah, he did everything but win his last 2 runs. He's flying at home, really, he's doing well. I'll be disappointed if he's not right there in the shake-up.
Chance that we could maybe decide to banker him?
Yeah, in the PA, pick 6, obviously it's a bit of a gamble, but no, he's in fine form.
Okay, then a progressive horse who's standing right behind us if he decides to poke his head out the door is number 9 on the card, Lord Windsor. He's really been a revelation since he's joined your yard.
Yeah, we've been dying to get this horse in on the grass over a bit of a trip. He's got bottom weight in a lower division handicap. I really think this horse has got a massive chance. I think he's much better than his rating suggests, so I'd make him our best of the day.
And then, of course, Shepherd's Warning. He can be extremely honest and reliable. Some days not, but he's got to be a type of horse that you put in trifectas and quartets.
Yeah, never leave him out of those quartets. I struggle to see him beating Lord Windsor at the moment, but he's been a lovely little horse to be a part of. He's earned, I think, 180 grand just in places, and he keeps ticking over nicely. So, yeah, I think he can be there, but obviously this boy behind us is the one.
And of course, a nicer bunch of guys you couldn't hope to train for than the Shepherd's Warning crew.
Yeah, there'll be Jägermeisters a few wins after that.
Matthew, starting with the daughter of More Than Ready, Saraba.
Yeah, she was a bit disappointing last time out. Was wet going. We don't think she liked that. She's coming back from a layoff, but she's been doing well at home, and we're expecting a good, honest performance from her.
On to Red Savage, a good third last week, and his form is not to be questioned.
Yeah, he's been running very well of late. He ran third last week, got bumped in the closing stages, so lost a bit of ground in the last bit from that. He's fit and well, he took his race well, expecting another good effort from him.
And then finally, Bahir.
Yeah, he's a 2-year-old in open company, but he's down in class from his last run. He travelled a bit wide last time out, and he still managed to run third. I was very happy with that effort, and from a better draw this time, I'm expecting the same sort of performance.
Adam, starting off with the first race, can punters get some place accumulator money in the first race with Franz Samela, one of the most talented work riders, riding Paratus, who's got a deep draw to overcome, and then of course Mr. Balboa, who also doesn't have a favourable draw, but with a very talented Lyle Hewitts in the irons.
Hi, Andrew. Paratus has been a bit disappointing. He's a horse that's shown us fair work at home. Having said that, he is very temperamental and he's quite a hard horse to handle. So, if he had to run in the money and overcome the wide draw that he does have to overcome, we'd be happy with that. With regards to Mr. Balboa, he's a horse that doesn't really show you much at home, but we have tried to give him a lot of work, stepping him into a mile first time out, hoping that he's not too much in need of that. Also has a wide draw to overcome. Both horses that I can't give the punters too much confidence with, but more hopeful from the stable.
Okay, what would appear to be a bad draw if it was round the turn actually turns out to be a very good draw for Lily Love, who's drawn 14, and Johnny G in the irons.
Lily Love's a filly that of late started to show work good enough to show that she was ready for a run and go to the racecourse. I wouldn't say that she's been tuned up to win, but she is a well-bred filly, and if she has to run in the money, we'll also be happy with that because we'll know that there's more to come.
Okay, and then we're moving on to race number 6, horse 6, drawn 6, Lady Justice. Had a little bit of a spell in Port Elizabeth. Has Donovan Mansur doing duty?
Yeah, Donovan put him on her because he galloped her last week. She did put up a good gallop. She couldn't really cut it as well as what we expected her to in PE, so we've brought her back home to Joburg while it's a little bit weaker. And she's a filly, if she could win, we would be extremely happy, but if she runs in the money, we'll also be happy with that. More a place chance than I would say a win confident chance.
And then what quite possibly is your best runner of the afternoon is Enala, who's cracked a decent draw and tries 2,000 meters on the inside track for the first time.
Yeah, especially after Enyala's last run, he looks like that he's a horse that's been wanting to go a bit further. The last time we put him over 2,000, he drew in the bush, so we didn't run him there. And it's nice that he can get a good draw today. He's a horse that's very fit. We've been working him on the tracks. He's shown good work on the tracks. His work on the treadmill's been good. So I think I've got him pretty fit at home. And if he can just come there with the attitude and the mindset that he wants to win, I wouldn't see, and things in the race pan out his way, I wouldn't see why he's not able to.
Possible banker?
No, not a banker. Possible chance for a win.
Gary, the stable in cracking form, starting off in the second race. You've got a decent draw as far as draws are concerned down the straight. Number 17, Flying Dream, with a flying Andrew Fortune on board.
Yeah, listen, it's a first start. The family definitely go further. She's looking for a mile, but she's a very nice sort. And, if she's not too green in the early part of the race, she could run into the first three.
Well, at least she's got home course advantage. She must have worked on the track and she'll know her surroundings well.
Yeah, but it's always it's hard with the first timers, Andrew, But we are looking for a nice run from her, and maybe a touch further, 1400 next time.
First class, then we move on to race 3. You've got horse number 8, Kangaroo Jack, who's drawn in Stallgate 10. It is down the straight, so Gary Alexander looks like he might get into the winner's enclosure.
Yeah, he's a very nice sort. He's well-made little horse. And he's got a bit of toe. I think he's definitely one that I would put into the quartets.
Okay, then we move on to race number 4, horse number 4, drawn number 4, Top Shot, and the blinkers go on with Andrew Fortune in the irons.
Yes, he's looking for this trip, Andrew. He's, he ran a crack in his first start. He ran up second from the back of the field. Then he lost his way under the lights, and he's come back to his best now, and not the most competitive field. He is above average sort, so we're looking for a big run from him.
And then the good old faithful, horse number 3, who's drawn 9 in the 8th of the afternoon. The blinkers are on as always with Commodore L.
Yes, yeah, he won a good race first time on the sand. He's bounced quite well from that run. He's come on a little bit. We're looking for a good run from him. He's working well, and the stable's going well, so we're looking for a good run from him.